Here's something nobody in the YouTube space wants to say out loud right now. The channels that are growing the fastest in 2026, picking up 10, 20, 50,000 subscribers in a matter of weeks, a lot of them don't have a human face anywhere in the video. And the ones that do have a face, they're often losing ground to the ones that don't. I know that sounds backwards. I know everything you've heard says you need to build a personal brand. Show up on camera. Let people connect with you. I run multiple YouTube channels using AI. No live filming, no camera setup, no lighting, no makeup, no looking professional. And some of those channels are growing faster than channels with professional studio setups and full-time creators behind them. Today I'm giving you the exact system. Not a vague overview, the actual workflow, the actual tools, step by step. Take it and run it. And I want to flag something up front. At the end of this video, I'm going to show you the one step in this system that separates the channels that grow from the ones that post 20 videos and quit. Most people skip it. I almost skipped it. We're getting there. Quick thing before we get into it. I built a free AI YouTube workflow guide that has every step from this video laid out, with the exact Claude prompts included. It's at aisavvyceo.io. I'll mention it again at the end, but if you want it open while we walk through this, grab it now. Links in the description. I actually put the complete workflow from this video into a free guide at aisavvyceo.io. I'll come back to it at the end, but if you can't wait, links in the description. Now, let's build this thing. The advice you've heard 1,000 times. You need to be on camera. You need personality. People need to see your face. Here's the data behind that claim. Nothing. That advice was written for 2015 YouTube. Back when discovery meant viewers had to already know you existed, subscribe to your channel, and come back voluntarily because they liked you personally. That's not how YouTube works anymore. Look at where growth actually comes from for channels under 100,000 subscribers. Suggested traffic. Browse features. These are cold viewers, people who've never heard of you, being pushed to your video by an algorithm that's evaluating one thing. Did people click on this, and did they stay? Your face doesn't factor into that equation. Your promise does. Your title, your thumbnail, your first 30 seconds. That's what's being measured. So let me ask you something. If the viewers who are going to discover you on YouTube have never heard of you anyway, why are you using "I don't want to be on camera" as the reason not to start? That's not a limitation of the platform. That's a belief you've been handed by people who make their income from cameras and lighting equipment. What you actually need is a system built around a promise, not a face. Let me show you the one I run. This is the AI avatar I use across my YouTube channels. Set up once in HeyGen. Took about 2 hours total. Every video I produce goes through this avatar. Consistent look, consistent delivery, consistent brand. No filming days. Here's the full production workflow. Step 1. Topic and angle. I use Claude AI and vidIQ to research what people are actually searching for, not just what sounds interesting to me. Claude helps me identify the contrarian angle, what everyone in the niche is saying, and what the opposite take is that I can defend with experience. That angle becomes the hook. Step 2. Script. Claude writes a full teleprompter script, word for word, production ready. Not a rough outline, a complete script with the hook, retention mechanics, transitions, and close. I feed Claude my specific take and my proof points. It structures them into a video that holds attention. I review, punch up the voice, and finalize in about 30 minutes. Step 3. Video production. I paste the script into HeyGen. My avatar reads it. The sync is clean. The delivery is consistent. No retakes, no camera anxiety, no "I don't like how I look." Step 4. Thumbnail. Thumbnail concept is informed by what's already getting clicked in the niche, not just what looks good to me. I use Canva plus AI image tools. Claude writes the thumbnail copy. Step 5. SEO and upload. Description, tags, chapters. Claude drafts all of it. I review and publish. End to end, 2 to 3 hours per video. That's the whole system. I want to stop here because I know what some of you are thinking right now. This is YouTube automation. I've heard of this. Isn't all of it just generic content that never grows? That's a fair question, and it's exactly what I want to address in the next section. Because yes, most faceless YouTube channels fail, but not for the reason most people think. Stay with me, because this is the important part. The channels that fail do one specific thing wrong in step 2, and I'm going to tell you exactly what it is. Here it is, the thing I mentioned at the top. Most faceless YouTube channels, the ones that post 20 videos and never break 300 views, have a content problem, not a production problem. Specifically, they're using AI to write generic information, not to structure a specific point of view. Let me show you the difference. Generic information sounds like, here are 5 ways to use Claude AI for your business. That video exists 400 times on YouTube right now. The algorithm has no signal to work with. There's no specific reason for a viewer to choose yours over any other. Point of view sounds like, everyone is telling you to use Claude AI for content creation. That's actually the worst place to start. And here's what I learned after running it for 6 months. That video has an opinion. The algorithm can identify a specific type of viewer who clicks and stays, and it finds more of them. This is where AI gets misused. Most people ask Claude to summarize a topic. I ask Claude to help me argue a position, one I've formed from my own testing and experience. The AI builds the case, I provide the conviction. That difference is everything. Here's exactly what that prompt looks like. When I start a new script, I don't type, write me a script about faceless YouTube channels. I type, I'm creating a YouTube video for people who want to build a channel without being on camera. My contrarian take is that the face isn't the product, the promise is. Here are 3 things I know from running this personally. Build the argument using this structure. Reality check, evidence, action, legacy impact. Hook first, retention mechanics throughout. 2,200 words, teleprompter ready. That prompt takes 30 seconds to write. The output is specific, opinionated, and sounds like a person, not a Wikipedia summary. The free guide at AISavvyCEO.io has this exact prompt, plus the variations I use for different video types. Grab it. If you want to run this exact system starting today, I packaged up all the prompts, the workflow steps, and the HeyGen setup guide into a free download at AISavvyCEO.io. Link is in the description. Takes about 15 minutes to go through. Quick question for the comments. Are you starting a YouTube channel from scratch, or do you already have one and you're trying to scale it? Let me know. I want to make sure the next videos I make are actually useful for where you're at. Now, the system is clear. Let me show you what this compounds into over 6 to 12 months, because this is where the math gets interesting. Let me bring it back to what I told you at the start. The one step most channels skip isn't a tool or a technique. It's this. They never define what they actually believe about their topic. They use AI to reproduce information. They never inject a take. The channels that grow, even without a face, even without a personal brand in the traditional sense, are the ones where every video has a consistent POV. The viewer watches one, feels like this person actually has something to say, and watches another. That's what builds the algorithm signal that triggers real growth. Here's the math if you run this consistently. 2 videos a week, 100 videos on YouTube in a year. At a modest average of 500 views per video, that's 50,000 monthly views from content you published once and never touched again. Growing. And that's just AdSense. The bigger play is that every video is a funnel. Every video can drive viewers to a course, a service, an affiliate offer, a community. When you own a YouTube channel with real audience intent, you own the most valuable thing in digital business, an audience that trusts you. You're building that without a camera, without a studio, without needing to look good on a specific day or feel confident enough to film. The system handles the production. You handle the thinking. That's the deal. You don't need a camera. You need a system built around a consistent promise to a specific viewer. That's what I run. That's what I just gave you. Before you go, the free AI YouTube workflow guide is at aisavvyceo.io. It has every step from this video, the Claude prompts, and the HeyGen setup walkthrough. It's free, takes 15 minutes. Link is in the description. If this landed for you, subscribe. I'm building out the complete playbook for running a real YouTube business with AI, and I drop a new video every week.